It's working. Greetings. This is Grandmaster Amin Ra coming to you live from Kenya. Let me move this camera because otherwise I'm like talking to myself. And today I'm gonna need to be looking right at you as we go through a somewhat personal, somewhat technical video, and but very, very informative. Now we're going to talk about, many people come on here talk about business, and they make videos about business, and oh, you can do, join us, get into real estate, make millions of dollars, and all these type of things. And I listen to them and I'm like, boy, do you understand? They don't really understand the psychology of starting a business from someone who has never started a business before. And that's what I want to attempt here now. I know some of you have thought about starting your own business all along. You thought about that, I'm sure. There's no way you can be in America and not think about starting your own business. But how does it work? And then, you got the day off. That's good. So you can just relax while we talk. And then many years ago, you decided that wasn't for you, and you went out into the job market, and then like that. But today, I'm going to get into the essence of it, and hopefully, some of you can rethink your idea about starting a small business in modern Africa. Now that's a jump, because here you are, you're in the United States, and then I'm going to sit up here and try to tell you you can start a business in modern Africa. Well, we're going to try to do a little bit of comparison, but there really is no comparison, especially in the United States today. Retail stores are closing all over the place. Payless Shoes just filed for bankruptcy on Sunday, and I used to love Payless Shoes, but the market is, contrary to Trump's belief, is in a bad way. They've had a total of 5,000 businesses closed last year in 2018, and already in 2019 they have over 8,000 businesses closed, and we're not even finished with the year yet. So somebody's not telling us something, and that's why I'm saying get your African plan together. And this is what is also prompting this video, because you might be one of the people that are having your jobs reduced, or you're seeing the reductions happening, and you're wondering what you're going to do next. And I'm saying you might have thought about starting a small business a long time ago and then decided you were against it. But I'm going to give you the entire details. Now, I operated a small business for over 32 years, just to give you some background on me. I worked in corporate America for 15 years. I quit in May of 1992. And by that time, I was already an apartment manager, and I was getting a small income for that one, plus the free rent. And then I was also having my, part-time martial arts school, which I go to Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and open up on 3 days a week. Now, of course, when I quit corporate America, I tried to boost my small business, and that was the martial arts school. And I quickly realized that I would have to teach kids if I was going to make extra money at the school. Now, this brings me to my first point about operating a business. You don't know what that business is going to be like when you start it. You don't know, you can't tell. You can't tell if 50 customers going to walk in on one day. You can't know that every other Friday you're going to get a big influx of customers. You don't know until you actually start the business. This is what they're telling you. Start a business, but you start a business, you have to really realize that and be prepared for all the different type of angles that's going to present themselves in your business. And every business is unique. So I can start the same business you're doing right down the street, but it could be have all kind of different type of clientele, different type of things can, make businesses differences. This is what I'm saying. What you see when you go to the mall, you can go to the mall, it could be like 50 clothing stores, but each one is kind of unique in its own way. The malls make sure that the same type of business is not really opened up exactly the same kind of business more than once. Changes in healthcare in my field, job cuts, layoffs, also moving from full-time to part-time. Yeah. Now, I hear you, Bobby Digital, and you might, if you were working full time, you might have been comfortable a bit there, but now you see that comfort zone is now not there, and you never know. I have been laid off from a job before, and it's like you had no sign. You could get no clue. I had came home in the morning. I was working nights, and I got a call, and I was like, what's going on? Because I thought I had done something wrong at the job or left something. I was a computer operator, and they said, no, you just got to come back. And I was like, okay. Then I hung up the phone. Then I was like, no, I'm not going to drive all the way back to work with this on my mind. So I called them back and said, no, you got to tell me what's going on before I come back. I don't know what happened. And the guy told me, oh, you're being laid off. And I was like, oh, okay, shit. At least I didn't do nothing bad, And, I wanted to go into business then. And I had I had bought one of the computers from Radio Shack, and I was trying to do programming with DOS. Man, that was way back in the early 80s. And I did it for a while, and then I needed to buy a car. And so they wouldn't sell me a car unless I had a job. So I went out and got a job immediately in my field at that time as a lead computer operator, and working for the Thrifty Corporation. And that was like 3-4 years of hell. And then I just had to walk off the job because my manager was just a racist bastard. And not only that, they were moving their corporate headquarters to the South to save because people work for less money back in the South. So that also was part of the reason why I had no future there anyway. And I was like, why am I even here? So I have a lot of experience both in corporate America and running a small business. And first thing I want to remind you is that when you start your business, don't start it with dreams. Just start it with, get your eyes wide open and then look for the opportunities to make your business be better. Continue to make it better. Now, when I started my martial arts school, I had some few points I wanted to make. I had been to many martial arts schools, and I had decided that I was going to make sure my classes start on time and end on time. That was one. It wasn't going to be where the instructor is going to be teaching and come 9 o'clock, you're still teaching 9:30. You feel like he got some more things he want to teach you, and he can leave. You never know when your class is going to end. I didn't want any of that. I wanted to have clear requirements for promotion. So you didn't have to be sucking up to your instructor, doing your other fellow brother in so that you could make sure you were promoted, and you knew your dates of promotions so that you didn't think like if you missed a particular day and that day had promotions. I've seen this. Guys train all year, they miss that day of the promotion. Somehow the instructor just wakes up and says, okay, line up, I'm going to punch you, you're going to promote you. And everybody's shocked. What? He's making it like a surprise. And so some guys were not there. So the next day when they came into class, they said everybody with the new belts on, and they like, he got promoted ahead of me. How? I was supposed to be promoted. Now you got to wait 6 months till the instructor feel like doing the promotion again, and you better not miss a class. So this is the kind of thing I didn't want. I wanted to be very professional, and because I had those things in mind when I and utilize them, people started coming in and appreciating that. Some of them appreciated it, but didn't realize, they just took it like it was normal. When you go to Almond School, you're gonna start on time and it's gonna end on time. Okay. Let me see. Good morning, everyone. Just finished jury duty. Okay. Hate that has to report for something such as without giving the opportunity to have say. Anyway, uh, even me, I was called for jury duty one day. But so you have a set of principles on how you want to run your business and how it's going to be different than the other businesses. Then you stick with that model and then you go in. Now, when you get into the business and you start slowly, because mine took years to develop, slowly you get to see how it's going to, how it's going to do. So let's say if you're doing products, because I was given a service, I was in the service business doing martial arts. But let's say you have a product, and then you see that product is not. You have like 3 or 4 versions of the same product, and then you see one version is really selling more, and then obviously you want to buy more of that product, or you can buy 2 different types of products the same exact type of way it is, and then put them on the shelf and compare them. You can fool around with the prices, raise one price of one, and then have people see that, and they see a lower alternative, which uh, they'll gravitate to that, thinking they're in their mind they're making a deal, getting a better deal. You see, but you have set all this up, and you're sitting in the back of the shop watching them and thinking like, oh, this is $50. Oh, this is only $45. Let me see the comparison. Oh, the same exact thing. I'm gonna take this for $45. And you know it all along. So these are the kind of things that happen in business when in small businesses. You kind of can tweak these little things to see how your customers are going to react to it. So in the service industry where I'm at, where I was doing my martial arts, I had to constantly tell my black belts that these are our customers. You can't tell them do 50 push-ups because I said so. You can't beat them up in class and like that. These people got jobs. You can't overwork them in class. You can't over-exercise them in class. And we grew up with all of that. Over-exercise, getting beat up, getting our ass beat. In the early Bruce Lee eras, the seniors used to just beat us up, like that was no problem. And I said, in my school, it's going to be run like a business, and it's going to, So over time, people started to appreciate that. I got a higher type of clientele, lawyers, businessmen, and they appreciated the fact that the school was always kept clean, didn't smell, and it started to grow. Now, I still had my job at the time, and you really can't be a small businessman and have a job. But when I quit the job in 1992, I went into my office and I was like, damn, we're going to have to double up. How? I'm going to have to start teaching kids. I'm going to have to start having classes every day, and I started doing that. And, following the model that I had started in 1986. Now, this is 1992 when I quit my job. So in 1992, when I quit, I was like, man, and I started teaching kids. And right away, because I had a professional attitude, it just boomed. And then we were in the middle of South Central, and there was no other martial arts school business that was there. And when the parents came in, they saw professionalism, which I learned from corporate America. So when you start your small business, you don't know what's going to happen. But if you've got a good set of principles and you have studied your competition and saw what worked for them, then you're on the right foot. And it's only a matter of now just stick to the routine and then see how sales are going to grow. Or if they decline, you need to really work on that part of it too. Don't be hesitant. Now, I have several forms of income today here in Kenya. And look at my guy. So, and these forms of income are move up and down, and I'm by no means rich, And I want to point that out right away that you can't. One of the things that we have as Americans is that we connect rich with being successful. Okay, you can be rich, but you might not be successful. You see, and you can be successful, but you're not rich. You know, if you're happy with what your business is doing, then that's, even though it's not bringing in a lot of money, it's you come to see that it sustains you, and that's the kind of business you like. Wow, man, that's the best thing. Now, I was just blessed to be able to make a living at the type of thing I love to do, which was, martial arts. And it wasn't like, okay, I love martial arts, and so therefore, no, I had to teach when I didn't want to teach. You know what I mean? I had to talk to a lot of people that I am not that kind of. I wasn't not then. I was not really like the people person, and I was a strict competitor. I had to, look at people that were not really trying hard and smile in their face, even though I was thinking like, you lazy bastard. That's why you get your ass kicked when you fight. But when you have your students, you have to really, you got different types of students. And I had learned how to cater to their needs, uh, to accommodate them because they were my customers. So the issue of starting your own business is start very small, yes, and then don't go over your head. Get in there and let me see what this is. American pastor won the Civil War. If they impeach Trump, that do you think about that? Okay, we'll talk about that in a different show. But now there are many changes you can go through when you start your business. Okay, and when you first start your business, you should not be dependent on it. Like this thing's got to work. Because there's a lot of stress in different ways when you start your business. So you just have to take your time. And if you're in an economy that is strong, you will get customers. It's just like if you got a fairly decent location, if you've done your little bit of marketing, people know where you are, then definitely you're gonna get customers. Now, in the U.S., we talk about doing businesses like I was looking at a website and it was like, all these many hundreds of businesses you can start in the United States. And it was a website I had saw 20 years ago. They talking about washing cars, walking the dog, they had high on the list, web designing, these kind of things. But there is an issue where that they don't really cover, and that is that you got your web designers and then you got your black web designers. Now, some black web designers, they'll get out there and they'll go hunt for business like that, but eventually you got to sit down with your client and they're going to see that you black. Now, that client has to decide, oh, if I'm going to follow this black guy or not. You get what I'm saying? So if it's a rich white person, then they got somehow they have a code. Let's be real. And you won't get the certain amount of business that you expected. I was when I left the police academy, I had to go back into. I was unemployed, and I had got a headhunter to look for me jobs. And since I had already had 4 years of experience in computers, that position was in demand. And she was sending me on job interviews every day, and I had to go because if you didn't go to any, she told me if she didn't, she was one of the best. She said if you miss one of the appointments I give you, then I'm not going to give you any more business. So she was sending me here, there, everywhere, and they were good contacts, businesses. And I would look in there and see they would ask me the questions. I'd answer all the questions, but they would say, well, we'll get back to you. And I got that like 50 times before I was finally hired. And the guy that hired me was black, also black. So I was like, it's different for us as Black Americans. And this is part of the reasons why a lot of us won't even get into business because, we have the stigma of our people don't want to do business with us. Black businesses are shady, shabby. They're not competing with the white businesses. And a lot of times this is very true. But that is in the United States. That is not in Kenya. In Kenya, it's almost like the opposite because they're going to see you as an American who has a business, and they're going to think that you got it going on. You're a Black American, they're even better. You know what I mean? There's a Black American that runs a business down here. It must be professional, not like Kenyans. That's what they're going to think automatically. and they're going to say, okay, let's go check it out. This is going to check it out because you'll be a novelty, and this works in your favor. When I first started teaching my martial art class, and we started growing, people started talking about this Black American is down here. I got a lot of visitors that came to my class. Some of them were just from other martial arts that wanted to see what I was doing, and some of them were people who were interested in martial arts and wanted to see what I was teaching. The moment they saw me do my beautiful techniques, they was like sold. So either that or they was extremely jealous, and then they walked out. That's the people that were from the other martial arts styles. But I grew the business from nothing, and I had no clue that the business was going to grow like that. All I know is that I started teaching, and then another thing that we have to talk about before we go into Trump. I don't know. Brenton wants me to talk about Trump, but I won't talk about Trump. But another thing about going into business is the people that are follow you in the business. Get me right. You cannot run a successful business without help. You cannot do it by yourself. You need people to work for you if you want your business to grow. You only got 2 hands, 2 arms, 2 legs. You can only do so much, whether it's in service or whether it's in product. From there, you need somebody that's going to work for you. Now, the American population is aging, and young people there are not as many in the workforce. Then there's all kind of laws that dictate on what you have to do when you hire young people, and there's so many things that can distract young people when you're doing business. But here in Kenya, the average age of a Kenyan is 16 years. So the population has a very large young population, very employable. Now I have people that I pay to work for me, young people, and I couldn't do the job. I couldn't expand without them. But some of us in America, we have a mentality that we can't rule over other people. We were slaves, and how can I tell somebody what to do? You have to get over that because that's what business is all about. You have to have employees. You got to pay them. You're going to have to give them work to do. Giving them work to do has to have to come out with a result of making more money than it would be if they was just sitting there. You see, sometimes you can have employees, and I have it here. I have nothing for them to do, and I'm thinking hard. What can they do? You see, and you can go even an hour, 3 hours. Sometimes a half a day. Really like no work, no real work. And then another day come, and they sweating, dying, from exhaustion. And that's just the way business is. Nobody has the secret to the success of that. But you definitely can't run your business and raise it if you don't have employees. Now, the great thing about having a business in Kenya is that you, as a Black American, when you come here, many young people will follow you. When you tell them your idea, what you want to do, they will follow you. And not only that, if you network right, you'll find people who will work under you, yet advise you on this way, how this particular businesses work. Now, you can't get rich without having people work for you. Unless somebody got a new way to do that, let me know. This thing of, I'm gonna work on the internet and 50,000 people. No, 50,000 people gonna come join you, and you're gonna start having customer care issues, and you just be stressed out. You must have people to take care of these jobs as your business grows. These other jobs start being created, and you have to be ready to meet that demand of that issue. So let me move this way so I can see the chat line. Yeah. So thinking. So okay, Lance Kelly, how you do? Ruby Williams, impeach him. It means nothing. Politics is just a sideshow. Politics has been there since the beginning of time. Politics is what really made the Black man become a slave. And from Democrat to Republican and back to Republican to Democrat, from Republican to Democrat we went, and then from Democrat back to Republican, and where are we? You see, where is the United States? It's an oligarchy. Everybody knows that. They know something, but they use that politics as a distraction. Trump is there telling you that everything is great in America and everything is not great, and you people are seeing it, and you're just sitting about. You want to sit back and wait, and I'm saying, okay, you come, let's wait. But when the shit hits the fan, this is going to be the information that's more important than whether Trump was going to be impeached. And even if he's impeached, that doesn't mean he got to be leave office. You know that he's still been. President Clinton was impeached. He didn't leave office. So what is this? It's just another sideshow. But now, having information that's important for you to start a business in modern Africa, giving the lowdown, this is something that, you know, I believe that people, quiet as it's kept, want to hear or need to hear. And I'm saying that you might have wanted to start a business, but you say I'm a worker. I'm not a bit. I don't like owning my own business. I like just to get somebody to work for them and they pay me. Okay. You might find that here in Africa, in the small business sector. But then, surely enough, as you go through working for somebody for small amounts of money, you might find like, I can even do this. And you might want to start your own business then. And I'm saying you're in a position here. Now, in the United States, they have like what we call legal kickbacks. Now, legal kickbacks is like, they got like city ordinances. You got to pay this certain licenses. You got to pay this amount of money. You got to pay a license and then a fee. And the fee, license fee and a service fee. And the service fee is more than the license fee. But when I was in Los Angeles with my business, it was like, there were some things that they were waiting for me around the corner. They didn't tell you. And you had city ordinance that, you broke the city ordinance. You got to do this. You can't have do water in front of your business. These kind of things you didn't know nothing about. But they come and they get you. And as your business grows, they know like people that are making big money in these areas, they done already tacked on certain licenses, certain fees, certain, you got to have a certain health code. You got to have emergency exit because now your school was 6 people, but now it's 50 people. So now you got to have emergency exit. And then, that's how they get you. So these are things that, people don't put it in the news, but they be waiting for you. If your business grows, they're going to come for you and tell you this is a certain audience. And then the same thing in the taxes. You start a business, it grows to a certain point, starts making money, and you say, let me put this on my taxes. And then next thing you know, somebody's auditing you, and you're finding out that, you should have did that 2 years ago. That's what they tell you. You should have did it 2 years ago. And then like, damn, now you find yourself, losing money in your tax bill. Then you grow a business, and then here comes an insurance company. You see, this type of business that you have too many customers coming in. Somebody could slip on the floor. You need to have accident insurance in this building. And then some city officials are included, and they say you must have accident insurance if you're going to have 50 customers coming through your door one way or the other. You see? So in Africa, in modern Africa, in Kenya, particularly, regulations like these are not as strictly enforced as I would say in America. They're not inherent into the system. You can grow a small business to a good size before KRA or taxman start looking for you. You know what I'm saying? I was with a Mzungu who had an automobile shop, and he was making money hand over foot fixing white people's cars, rich white people's cars. And he was like, I'm a German. I know how to work on these German cars. And he was doing stellar business. And then one day, KRA just walked into his office and said, "When's the last time you paid taxes?" And he was like, "What?" And then next thing you know, he was broke. So that was a fault of his own. You should always be respectful towards the tax man. If you're going to take your business to a certain level, then you should be expecting the fact that you're going to have to pay those taxes because you can't hide all that money. You know what I'm saying? So that's even in the U.S. So that's not one of the reasons. Now, I like my streams of incomes. I keep them small. This is just my personal preference. I'm up in age now, so I don't really have that drive to go and expand them. But like I have several businesses. But there's no doubt I'm gonna talk about them. But at the same time, this is information I'm giving you. Eh? And if you like what we're talking about, we don't have Super Chat in Africa. So it's been long since I've got one of you new people to come in and say, okay, let me help this guy out. Let me send him some money, show him I appreciate it. There's no better appreciation than somebody to send $5 or $10. Go through this small, simple process one time, and then you'll see it gets easier after you do that. So those that don't know, this is Evelyn or War Monday. This is my wife. The phone number is in her name, so you have to put this name, not mine, and the mobile wallet, and then click M-Pesa on Western Union. So this is how we do it, because we don't have Patreon here. I don't have all these things are not available in Africa yet. So if you please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's keep this going. Because this information is valuable, maybe not for some of you today because you have a job, but trust me, if you went to work tomorrow and they gave you your pink slip and they gave you a big check and you're like, okay, what am I gonna do with this money? You see? I know it's a long stretch saying I'm gonna take this money and buy a plane ticket to Africa. Oh, you see, but what you got to lose? Especially a lot of you guys are going into, midlife crisis. Somewhere in your life, in your adult life, you're gonna have a point where you have to reset your whole life. You know what I mean? Maybe you broke up with your woman, and then you feel like you don't want to be in the same city with her. I could have did that. I'm gonna fix her. I'm gonna just disappear to Africa. They're gonna not even know I went. But you see, when you get to Africa, you still got to do something. You see, so this is why this information is important, and I want to give it out there. It's not what you think when you talk about starting a business. It's simple like this. It's going to be a long process, and you don't know what's going to happen until you get there. So everything is like like shooting craps. You know what I mean? You don't know if you're going to get a lucky seven or you're going to crap out. But if you got a strong idea, if you see other people making money, you can see the signs to say, okay, this thing can work. And if you're ready to work those long hours, then you can do it. I mean, what you going to do if you come to Africa? If you ain't going to work, y'all need time off to do what? And you in your 30s and you in your 40s. You know what I'm saying? No, it's that 30 to 40 you're supposed to work. So this thing of trying to live large on small on peanuts, no. Anywhere around the world, except in America, where they give you food stamps and handouts and incentives and these kind of things that keep you from even having to work, unemployment, these kind of things. Everywhere else you go, you got to hustle, because you don't really have those kind of things. America has all these things to try to show off and to attract people into America. If you're working and you lose your job, America gonna give you unemployment. That's a little bit of money and it runs out. Then what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So and those things a lot of those benefits is going out the window. And then when the economy falls, they will definitely be out the window. So it only behooves you to do this. Now I'm going to give you some information about my type of businesses and explain to you a little bit about what I've done, and so you can get a kind of understand that it's possible, because a lot of people look at me and they wonder, well, what the hell did that guy do? I'm in this line, so I have multiple streams of income. And you hear these people talking about like the multiple streams of income. You must have them, otherwise you'll be, you're making yourself vulnerable. Okay, I created my multiple streams of income, something like 20 years ago. And they still service me today. Not a lot of big money, no, but just enough to keep me busy and give me some decent coins in my pocket. I can raise my family. My wife also works. I made sure the woman I got was working, because I didn't want to have to be like the sole breadwinner and she's sitting in the house with kids. No, I got a woman that was progressive and she wanted to work. And I was like, yeah. So I asked her, what you want to do? She said, I want to own my own salon. So I took out money I had saved and we opened up a salon. And she's been doing great business there, one of the top business salons in the area for years. So on my side, I had martial arts, and I still have it today. In fact, I'll be speaking at Kenyatta University this weekend in Nairobi. Yeah, and then the next day we're having a promotion where you'll see about 70, 80 people come in for promotion, and I have business dealings there where I'll make money from servicing those promotions. Now, I also have a sport karate business. I also service martial art tournaments, which we have a league of tournaments, and they come every year. I mean, we've been doing it for 20 years now, and they come every month. And there's another stream of income that I make. You know, I have web designing and web hosting business. I'm a wholesaler for HelpWest. If you want a website, call me and contact me. And then I have clients in there. So they come every year. They have to renew their hosting fees. And if they have a problem with the website or they want a new design, they call me, and then I do that. I have MAMA, Modern African Martial Art Alliance. It's an area where it's my brand. And through that, I brand myself as Grandmaster in martial arts. And I have a reputation, and I'm building it as I go. You know, I'm on network, I'm on social media, and I talk to people, and I go to promotions. People want to know about what I'm doing. They can go on my Facebook channel, or they're on my WhatsApp group, and then see me, talk to me. And I've been building that seriously for the last, 4 or 5 years now. ICT courses. I do give ICT courses. A lot of people don't know that, and I train teachers on how ICT works and how how it can benefit them in their school. Kenya today is becoming more ICT. The government is telling them we're moving to ICT, and they don't have enough people to train them, or they don't want to pay the people to train people. So the people try to go out and find their own means, and they see what I'm doing here, and then they hire me. So I see where set up a Kenyan hydro plant and power up their own villages. Is the government supportive of them? The Kenyan government is very supportive. Now you must understand, and there's an ease of doing business index on the internet, and they rate all countries every year, how easy it is for them to do business in those countries. Kenya is very serious about that. Last year in 2018, they were 120, and they moved up half to now 61. They have ecitizen.co.ke. You can go there and you can have a business by the end of the night, by the end of the day. If you're watching this video in the morning, and you're an American. So the ease of doing business has been really something that a lot of African countries are doing, making it easy for people to start businesses, whether you are Kenyan or whether you're an American. All of this nonsense of, well, you can't own a business because you're foreign. Get that out your mind. Nobody cares on the ground whether you from America would, like that. You get what I'm saying? You're going to start a business and your business can work. Nobody's going to come to you and tell you you can't have this business because you're a foreigner. We must take it from you. Nothing like that. Okay? That's just big fat lies. Since I've been doing this for 20 some years, nobody has come to me and said, you can't do this, or, you must stop. Maybe the other martial groups, at one time they wrote a letter to the sports council saying I was teaching criminals and so I should stop. But that was just jokes. That was one letter. But anyway, and then, it's mad because they saw what we were growing. That the business I was doing was growing. But I had a very good model to go by because I was successful in the United States. So when I brought it to Kenya, and I, it was bound to be successful. Now it's not the same like in the United States, the business part of it, because I had to make changes and I had to adapt. And that's another thing that when you're in a small business, you can't know. Now I have a business called ccgate.com. It's a digital revision course that for primary school students, And I started this in 2012. And back then, it was almost completely different. I mean, I wasn't thinking about primary. I was thinking about secondary. I was thinking about having lesson courses. Imagine back in 2012 with the internet the way it was in 2012. I was like, you're going to download this whole course, digital course, and have a computer guy speak to you and tell you about the periodic table and teach you. You know what I mean? But it changed completely from that, and it's still changing. And I would, I couldn't see it now, but I'm sure that down the line, all these new revelations come up, and you come to realize, oh man, and then your business grow a little bit more. Then you do some tweaking, and then it grows a little bit more. And I'm not afraid to go to people and say, what's wrong with this thing? Why did you only use it for 5 minutes and then walk out the door? And it was because of those questions I was able to finally open the secret to what made this digital revision course work. I came to realize over time that digital education doesn't work. No computer can teach better than a teacher. So nothing like you're gonna have a course on. I see people put these things on YouTube. I look at them for like 20 seconds. I'm laughing. It ain't gonna never work. Nobody gonna pay attention to that computer person on the screen. You see? And then because I have access to so many students here, I can critique my business. I can put videos and show and see they can watch the students' reaction. And see? So, but I wasn't thinking like I would be sitting in a computer lab at a primary school one day. I was thinking I was gonna have a corporate office, and everybody's all my business gonna be online. That's just jokes. See? So you have to let the business drive you. You know what I mean? And this thing about, and I'm almost done. This is on this issue. This thing about multiple streams of income is not what you think. I always tell people you have to feed that beast. You know what I mean? I have CCGate.com. So it gives me money. If I stopped and didn't go do anything on CCGate for like 2 days, what would happen? Money would disappear. See, somebody has to be there to keep on dealing with the customers, keep on improving the product. People can see, somebody was here yesterday. Yeah. See, in martial arts, if I was just sitting around here waiting for the phone to ring and somebody call me, Grandmaster, can you come to a thing? Yeah, I'll go. Then I go, and then I'm sitting there like, I'm the Grandmaster. No. I have to continually update myself on my techniques. I got this, so I have to learn how to revise on all these techniques. So when I go in front of an audience, I present myself, I'm professional. You know what I mean? That take work. If I don't feed into it, and it's also my brand. So if I don't feed into it, then, I'm gonna look. People are gonna ask me to come to visit their schools. I go to one school and I visit the school and I give a seminar and the people love it. And then what do? They go out and tell other people, and then other instructors hear about it. Like, I want him at my school. Why? Because I'm exercising, I'm doing the techniques, I'm doing the research, I'm getting the information, I'm practicing my speaking, and that's what does it. That goes for any business. So when you say they got 7 streams of income, you ain't got shit if you ain't. Every day they're keeping you busy. You cannot have them. Listen to me, because nobody else is going to tell you this. You cannot have multiple streams of income when they just give you money like this, just coming out the door. People try to give you this impression, but that ain't the case. You got to work each section. I got a paper form here. It got all my incomes, and I'm looking at them. I got to do something for this one. Oh, shoot, I forgot about this one. I got to do something here. I got to do something right here for this one and this one. You see? So this is valuable information I'm giving you. And like I said, I'm not an extraordinary, where I'm, booming like that. No, this thing is hard, and finding good people that's going to come in and help me, that's even harder. Finding somebody that's going to say, hey, let me help you. Let me work with you on this one. And then being able to trust them, it's not easy to find somebody that you can trust, even if it was in the United States. But I have been blessed that I have business partners that I have had been doing business with for years. I try to tell them all the time, look, when we do good business, people gonna come and try to tell you bad things about me, and they're gonna tell you me about bad things about you. But we have to realize that that's not that we can't let ourselves fall for that. And if there's any problem, we talk to each other. Yes, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna talk to you. You talk to me. I'm gonna talk to you. You see? Then we go and start doing business. You see? So this is what it's all about. Some part of it they don't tell us. Now, black people don't even want to talk to each other a lot of times. We got all these fears and issues, but there's no way you can really make it in business if you don't associate yourself with people that are going to be supportive of you or partner with you or in a team fashion. That's the only way to make it because you only got two arms and two legs. You can't go everywhere and do everything. You just burn yourself out like that. Like I know a instructor, he had a school and he had a good location. He got lucky. He started having students. Then he had 10 students. And then he had 20 students. Then he had 30 students. And he started making classes every day because every day they would pay him. So every day he's in there, 30 students, And so it got to be 35, almost 40 students a day. And he refused to take a partner. You know what I mean? So he's just standing in front of you for 2 hours or for an hour or whatever and train 40 people. Move, kia, move, hiya. So people got tired, I say that, and part of me is in my class when you get to 10 students, because you can only successfully teach 10 students at a time, martial arts. I mean, you can aerobics a bunch of them, but if you're talking about martial arts, each person is an individual. So I say after 10 people, you get an assistant. You break your class and you separate your class, and you have your senior student take over this group. You give them an assignment, teach them this. And then you take your top students there, and then you teach them certain things. But I always say that if I'm the senior instructor of my class, I spend far more time with my beginners than my seniors. Why? Because my seniors, they already know me. But the beginners, they're trying to decide on, I'm going to stay with this guy or not. And so I'll be very helpful with them. This is a business strategy that works. Another thing that I have done in business is I teach my students how to teach at the last level, like the brown belt level or level 5. They're considered assistant instructors, and they must teach. So they'll know how to teach. And this is what allows our art to grow to where it is today, expanded all over, because the instructors know how to teach, not like you're a student and the instructor just teaches you, and then when you turn around and suddenly got a class, you just start acting like your instructor. And how is that? You see, how is that going to work? You can't try to copy somebody and be the best you can be. No, you have to have a personality, and people have to like your personality. And so teaching students how to teach and explaining them, see the pressures of what teaching is about, understanding that they have to continually grow their knowledge. These are the things that you find help your businesses grow. And you have to think ahead in that area. If you're going to be selling certain type of beans and you're importing those type of beans, then you got to realize, what if that bean is not available from that vendor? So you find other vendors that sell the same bean, and then you start making deals with them, and then you can pit one against the other. Well, can you give me the beans at 6.5 a kilo? Because I can get it from so he gave me a 6.0 kilo. You see, and then it's like, oh, you see, if you want your business, and you win like that. So I'm saying that rethink the idea about starting your own business. Africa has a young population. The majority of the student people here are young. So you have a very big employment sector where pool of ink, where you can pool in people. And any idea you have, start off with the idea, and then start off with having somebody work for you. Like there's people here started Kanozi, and the guy owns this Kanozi, and all he does is teach young people how to cut hair. Barber. Kanozi is a barber. And then he teaches young people how. Then he talks to his customers. The customers come in. They get used to the young boys that's cutting their hair. You see, and he just has to sit back and make sure the bills is paid. And he may sit there and enjoy his customers and talk to them, but he's not the actual one cutting hair. So on the weekend, you can see like 4 seats, young people cutting hair, and he's just one guy sitting back. You get me? So these are kind of ideas you have to think of. So let me Look at my chat line. I know I have been neglecting you. Blue ribbon, Black Americans are living in the modern Democratic Party plantation. The majority of Black people work for the government today. Government hires is the bigger number one employer of Black people is the government, and so I can understand when they politicians come on TV, you can take an interest in that. And then they are so colorful and in very nice suits and ties, and they're always articulate, dressed nice. And, this is all part of the rules that they try to supposedly get your vote, but then at the end of the day, it's not your vote that elects them. You get what I'm saying? So I think that if we just look back to 400 years, not even 400 years, I'm 60. So I was there when Carter was president. I was there when Nixon was president. I've seen Ronald Reagan come to California looking for votes. You know what I'm saying? So I was there when Kennedy was assassinated. I was young, but I was there, seeing the funeral, watched the funeral on TV, and So as you get older, you realize like that it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? So. We had all that hoopla with Obama, and then at the end of the day, that should tell you the story right there. He didn't do anything for Black people. We're still in bad shape and have nothing unless you're gay. He really helped you if you was gay. Then you might get some benefits from Obama. But unfortunately, hopefully, still most of us are not gay in America yet. But that's where it's going. So really, I'm saying here. Many of us are living, especially now because it's all over the television, like it is every time this comes out this year, and it could be somehow exciting to watch, but at the same time, it can be boring when you have seen it every year after year after year. Unless it's Hillary and her emails, or Obama and Martha Klutsky, whatever her name was. It could be something. Between those points, it just gets to be boring. I think it was supposed to, be Bernie Sanders and turn, but he's like, I'm not giving out Black reparations, and nobody's giving out reparations. So, you're just wasting your time. These people in the ADOS, you sitting back waiting for a paycheck. It's never going to happen. People, come on. Oh, I'm gonna see people leaving my chat because they was hoping for a paycheck. No. We already tried this several times. The last time being Dr. Claude Anderson, and he just quietly quit because there's no way you're gonna get a bill in Congress that's gonna tell the people that the country's gonna vote to give Black people money while poor white people are running around in America. They ain't gonna allow it. They're gonna riot in the streets the moment you think you're gonna get a check. So that shit can't go beyond a certain point. I mean, I see like Tone Talks is here talking about we're gonna have a big show in Louisville, and he's talking about we're gonna be there on the 16th. Yeah, we're gonna have a discussion on what the fuck. How much discussion do you need? Discussion time is over. You ADOS, you think you owe some money? Then what you gonna do? Ain't no nothing else you can do except riot in the streets. That's the only thing you can do, and you ain't gonna do that. So you can talk to you blue in the face, but you're gonna get all the Republican in the House to vote for that thing, pass that as a fucking law. And then leave about them. What about the 100 men that gotta pass that thing in the Senate? Them 100 white men, and all of them might as well be white. Them 100 white men, they just passed laws to put your jobs in China. They passed laws and ordinances to put you in prison. Now they're gonna turn around and pass a law saying, every Black person gonna get like $100,000. It's just jokes. Yeah. Look at these people like Tone Talks. Look at these people that's talking about ADOS. They hoping. I mean, Tone Talks is not hoping. He just trying to get some viewership. And at one time, the ADOS thing brought him so many 100,000 viewers. And he's now scared because he got all these people watching him, and all he's doing is talking. It's been over 2 years. Come on, what action have you taken? What's the name of the lawyer that's running the case for that? It ain't Johnny Carson. So who is it? You know? And if you don't have a lawyer, how the hell are you even talking about reparations? What you gonna discuss? What they did to us and why they owe us. We already know that. Now what? Action time, action time. No, there'll be no action. It's just gonna be more talk until that's it. Bernie Sanders was the leading presidential candidate. I don't know how if he's there today or not, and he straight out said that I ain't for reparations. So what you got going for you? Trump damn sure ain't gonna give it to you. So poop. You see, there's a time when we can be entertained on the internet. You know, you can sit there and watch me. I might say something that might hang myself, and you guys will just be sitting there eating popcorn. Ooh, that guy's done, you know. Or that's fun. You can come here and make some crack jokes on my chat line. Okay, that's good. But then there's a time to be serious. And when it comes time to being serious, you need to have some information. Because as these economists are really saying that the recession is going to be the worst one, and you know we heard it before, and it happened in 2008, and a lot of us just went to sleep on that. 50% of black people lost their homes, no problem. But damn, some of you know malls that are closed down. You see it. Some of you going past shops that you thought was open last week. Now you see it's all boarded up. You're seeing this right in front of your eyes. You see, General Motors, I said it on my last show, I said it was 150,000. That was a mistake. 15,000 layoffs. Hell, in Europe, what's the biggest economy in Europe? Germany. Germany is now going into a recession. Germany, which was bailing out Italy and bailing out Greece and helping them and supporting them in the U.S., is now having a serious economic slowdown. Same in South Africa, because South Africa ain't nothing but white controlled. South Africa is just like on the edge of a recession, but not in Kenya. The president was in the UN and he talked about all of the great things that is happening with Kenya, and Kenya is looking poised to do great things. I mean, they have economic trade barriers. They're dropping these trade barriers between their neighbors. You don't need a passport or visa to go to the East African community. They're almost setting up to get their own common currency, because you know when you combine, then you can grow. The East African community is a powerful bloc, and DRC Congo, which is the second largest after Nigeria, is also talking about being part of the East African community as opposed to being with the West Africans. And looks like that's going to happen. So the future is bright in some areas of Africa. In modern Africa, definitely they're growing. Now, South Africa was close to recession, and then they kind of got out of it. So they're teetering there back and forth. But that is a lot of that in the political side is that Africans are there asking for, they want their land back from whites. So whites are holding on to their money, and people are afraid to go there and do business. The xenophobia thing is not helping matters, and we have to stay tuned and see. Zimbabwe went down to triple-digit inflation, and then it has recovered. So the basis, the foundation of Africa is powerful because we have so many people, so many young people that need work and are ready to work. Now what we need is the middle class to start opening up businesses and then hiring these young people and start developing like that. So the same thing with in Kenya where I'm at. I'm saying that Black American middle class has failed us because they banked on being in America as opposed to coming to modern Africa and setting up businesses with that intelligence, like myself. The middle class Black American, a college educated American can come here and he can do great things, no doubt. But he has banked his time in America, and instead of coming here and opening a business that we can now come to Kenya or wherever modern African city you go to and be hired. You see, if they would have done that 10 years ago, blacks would have been back and forth in Africa. It would have been no problem. But somehow they believed that America was going to be booming. And then look what they got. They got slapped in the face in 2008. And then now 2019 is still there. They still got people are still struggling. And then they're saying another one is coming right now. Yes, Lance Kelly. This idea of America owes us a debt, you're never going to get that. Do you think that the Roman slaves who got money, did they ever like come back and say, okay, Emperor Constantine, you owe us from what you did to us 20,000, 40 years ago or 100 years ago? Nothing like that, man. That's why social media is there to promote like that could be possible, but it's not possible. You only have one option. You're getting your ass kicked in the United States for 400 years. You, your children, your parents getting their ass kicked, and the only solution is somebody with some sense saying, look, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to try to make things work out. And if it work out, I'll call you. That's the only way. Now I'm here and I say, okay, things is working out. I'm calling my people to come. But you see, their mindset is not there. So they don't want to come. They want to say, okay, let me give you 10 more years. Let me see where you are 5 years from now. They see me growing, they're like, I'm in with, I'm coming. No, they're not going to come. But I say to you that when the end comes, and it's coming soon, I don't want to predict it like that, but from all indications that I'm reading, and all what I hear these people are, even here in the chat, talking about, our days are pretty much numbered. And I'm saying when the shit hit the fan, if the shit hits the fan, what options will you have? And I'm saying that America will not be a place you want to even stay in. If they are already telling you that the next generation is going to be poorer than this generation, and then the recession hit, damn, you can imagine what you got kids? Joking. So I'm saying, get that point in. And again, if you like what you hear, and want to support the channel, this is the only way we really do it, through westernunion.com. You see you guys in the chat looking at that, laughing. I see you. But I'm saying nothing's for free. You think that Dynas and O'Shea would be online filming these shows? Do you think that they would be on TV if they were not making money? You're joking. It's because YouTube has found a way for them to make money from the shows. Now, when I come here now, keep my Pantheon thing, saying no, not in your region. We don't do that because they have to take money out of America. They don't want that. So we can still bypass it for now. Maybe later on we'll find a new way. But I'm saying let's work together here, because I have just told you that it's possible to have a business in Africa. And I have explained to you that if you thought about having a business in the past, but now you realize you decided against it way back then. But I'm saying revisit it now. And some of you are saying, let me think about that. Because all you have to do is come here, get 3 or 4 young people, have a good idea, and then don't sweat it. Just start off very slowly, and you might develop. You don't know what it's going to grow into. You might start off selling fruits and vegetables, and then you realize that people want clothing, and you can switch. Now you start having fruits on this. I've seen it. It happens all the time. My wife does that. She does a salon, and then she found out that because of where the location of the salon is, she can now sell clothes. So she hangs clothes outside the salon, and people walk by. Oh, how much is this dress? You see, and it's another stream of income. So she didn't know that when she was saying that she wanted to open up a salon. She didn't think about that, but the opportunity came. And I'm saying that you can come for you too. It's got to come to it with a correct mindset. You can start 2 types of businesses, but you must realize that you need to hire people, the locals or whatever you want to call them, and employ them. Because if you're not able to employ these people to do work, then your business is not that strong anyway. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I'm in the airport waiting on a flight, but at the next day or two, I'll end up sending something. Okay, thanks, Lance Kelly, and for the thought. I appreciate that. Yo, I've been trying to contact you about business in Kenya. Okay, people have been trying to contact me, and finally, I'm getting them. Jason Bourne. I'm an electrician. I think we talked a while back. I can easily be a contractor. When you're an electrician, okay, you come into Kenya, right? You have these skills. You get young people, and you know they don't have the skills you have. Okay. Now you bid for a job somewhere, and you train them. They watch you as you know, put in electrical sockets, get the right gauge of wire, and do all of put the switches in, put the red means shock, black means ground, these kind. And you teach them, they'll be appreciative. You see, and you explain to them the way I explain to my people. I don't know where this is going, but we're gonna work it out. Every 2 weeks, I'm gonna pay, and in the next 2 weeks, we see where we are. Now I've been saying that for like a year and a half, and we're still going on strong. And we may expand in the next few weeks, but that's it. That's all you can hope for. Okay, so it seems like a risk, but I'm saying Kenya's population is growing, so there's new houses being built all over the place. You see, so you as a Black American say, "I come here." You Jason Bourne can go right now online and get your business name and have a business name ready and working in Kenya in the next 24 hours. Now, the only thing for you to do is get the flight to come here and then get some business cards and then talk to people about where I can get some business at. Take it slow. Take it slow, and I'm sure that you're going to fall in line. You're going to learn things like I learned them. I didn't know certain things. 2 months ago, I didn't know certain things. I didn't know that I could create a program that can operate without a password, without administrative thingies. So I was shocked. I was working on this thing and saying, well, what the file is this that keep making this thing come up? Let me look at, do I need it? Delete. Now let me try it. Ooh, it's working. Wow, come on. Can you imagine? I didn't know that. People come to me, how can we put the TC Gate in my school? Well, you need to get your own desktop and you have to do it like this and like this. Now you don't even need that. You see what I'm saying? Any phone it can run. So I didn't know these things when I first started out. You just learn as you go. And Kenya is a great place because there's not that much competition like in America. You know what I mean? You start talking about, I'm gonna do this, get this idea, then you go online, and you're like 50,000 blacks have already tried that thing. Damn, where'd it come from? How? You know what I'm saying? Well, you try it, and then you got scammers in here trying to fix you, blackmail you. That's America. It's 400 years old. Business people, that's cutthroats. In capitalism, they don't care. People believe, like, I'm gonna cut your throat. But these Africans have a base understanding that they put a common concern and respect for their fellow man. They ain't talking about trying to do you over. Can I teach them from the basics up? I just need to know where to bid. I will look into that. You have to come here, Jason Bourne. That's obvious. You must get a month somehow. I'll be here if you come to Kenya and we can hook up. And there's other Black Americans that are here and some others are coming. I will give you my expertise. I'm not going to charge you for the expertise because my expertise in the field of electricity is very limited. But I do know how to walk with you, hold your hand, find the guy that's doing it and say, hey, man, this is my brother from the U.S. He's an electrician and he wants to start his own electricity business. Can we go out for a beer and we sit down and talk? And a lot of things are done over a beer. So, and I didn't drink when I came here, but I quickly know that when you have to network, you got to go to the bar a lot of times because Kenyans are fun-loving people. They don't really know peace in their country. So that's why they do a lot of their business. So where am I going to be? You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting with this man. This man giving me a huge contract. He's drinking a Tusker beer, and I'm ordering a Sprite. No, I'm gonna drink that Tusker beer with him. You know what I'm saying? And he's gonna like me. because that is the way business works. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, I find I like those people because we both have the same mindset about business. And he's willing to help me if I'm willing to be disciplined and respectful, and I really want to try. So if you got all that going for you, there's no way you're gonna fail in Kenya and start up a business. If you have a degree and a diploma, you can get employment in Kenya technical schools. And okay, if you got if you work for a company, you can also get a job teaching. Yeah. A lot of they really respect us in the U.S. Somebody coming from the U.S. and got those skills. You don't have to be a teacher with a degree, and you can, because there's a lot of schools opening up. These young people need to be trained, so a lot of these schools are opening up, and you can start there, get your foot wet, get your understanding of the place, and then boom, primary schools, they're always looking for teachers. Now, think about what I'm telling you, because I'm telling you the stuff that's happening on the ground. Nobody else is going to give you this information so you can understand what I'm talking about. You come here, you're a Black American. They love us right from the beginning. So you go to a private school, let's say it's a secondary school, or let's say it's a primary school, whatever, and you tell them, look, I want to teach. And what is going through their mind? They're thinking, like, if this Black American comes into my school and teaches a class, then the parents will know that I have hired a Black American, and they're going to feel their kids want to be part of that, because they still got this stigma in Africa that America's got going on, and that you get quality things and people are great, they're really intelligent here. You see, I help that along because I'm Black American, and I know that my interaction with people must be at a professional level because I'm like the only Black person that they know. So when they leave me, they say, okay, I met a Black guy. How are they? They're gonna say, how is he? They're gonna say, how are Black people? No, Black people, they're like this and he's like that. You see, so this is a benefit to you. You have a degree. You can start even a business in the solar installation. Solar installation is big business. Also, rain gutters. What do they call them? Gutters. I think we call them gutters. Where it's mostly standard. Every house has to have a rain gutter on their house where, to catch the rain, right? In America and in California. In Kenya, they don't have that. So you have all these houses that don't have a way to trap water. See? But they just now start, especially in Mombasa, where there's many people and the water comes to be a problem sometimes. But it rains, here, it's a tropical climate, so a lot of rain comes, and then the water just is wasted. But if you go to somebody's landlord and tell them, look, I can put these drains in your house for this much money, and we can trap your water for you, he can raise his rents on these people because they're going to say, all right, we got water in the compound. Boom. Get me? You can sell him. I think about that too. I give you a lot of respect because of all the people I listen to, from Bobby Hemmett to Claude Anderson, Tariq, hell, even Dale Jones. They never said we should return to Africa. Okay, yeah, because you have these people I'm gonna say the word now. Don't get upset. Negroes. A Negro is somebody who banks and lives in the United States. Now, you could be a field Negro trying to leave, or you can be a house Negro and you banking on America for your product. Now, I've seen 50-year-old men, 40-year-old men struggling in America on the goddamn YouTube talking about America, don't go to Africa. Well, Africa's got problems. I'm telling you, Africa ain't got no problems. Africa don't have no problem. It's a peaceful place. I'm in Kenya, so I'm talking about in Kenya. Nobody is shooting at you. The government ain't all in your business. You know what I'm saying? The police are not running around here with armored plate bullet shields and shit like that, chasing you down and hunting for you. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like that. So if you live in your life, you won't come in contact with the police. If you live in your life, you won't come. People ain't gonna come and try to rob you and shoot you everywhere. You ain't got to be holding on, worrying about being attacked. Especially now, since we have, in places people don't even have money in their cash, so you can't even get robbed. You know what I'm saying? Like in China, there's no crime in China because everybody's phone is there. Is how they pay for things. You know what I'm saying? So you got that freedom, not like in America where there's so much institutionalized crap. You know these legal kickbacks you got to pay here and there. The governments come up with, city government, county government, these people come with all these things. No, You get the freedom. You respect the law, follow the law, you're free. Nobody's going to disturb you. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, it's a benefit to you. But to see in the United States, these 50, 40-year-old guys is there having these struggles, and they still saying, America's the greatest place, but it's not the greatest place anymore. Let me just go ahead and say that to most of you that's out there. I've been living here for 22 years. I'm telling you, I'm here now, living for 22 years. I don't have a family. I got a wife, I got kids, I got a house, I got bills to pay. You see what I'm saying? I got businesses that I'm running, and I'm seeing, I ain't all the perfect guy. I mean, sometimes I get lazy, rarely, but I see a lot of room for improvement for me. But I'm getting up in age now. You see, I'm 61. I'm slowing down. Like I'm here at the lab in the morning, and somebody said they wanted to bring a full load of students into the lab to have a class at the last minute, and I was like, "Oh, look at this floor." So I took a broom and I was sweeping the floor. I swept like 1, swept 2, swept 3. Then the kids came, Mr. Rod, let me help you. Took the broom from me. They couldn't stand to see me sweeping the floor. And it was just a little short job, but no. When they see an elder doing some work, no, we got to help you. Get what I'm saying? That's just in their nature. So I feel comfortable that as I get older and I start to slow down, that I'm gonna get these things are gonna pick themselves. People are gonna be there for me and take care of me. They're gonna let me starve. How am I gonna be sitting in a goddamn tent somewhere? How can you get to that point where you in a tent, everybody know you in a tent, your family and friends, and nobody come to help you? That's because America is a dog place. Drugs everywhere. Half the people in Skid Row is on drugs. Come on. What you gonna do? I mean, that's like a double negative. You just ruin. So anyway, and what you said about Omar School is true. You will be black conscious and then work where you gonna work? Thank you. I see Lance Kelly been listening to me. I'm gonna explain to you, because those people that listen to me, instead of concentrating on my missing tooth, and you listen to instead you listen to the words I'm saying clearly that times have changed. The thing is switching. I'm telling you, in Germany, London, England is done. Nobody want to say the truth that when you leave UK, when you leave the EU, you're done. All these things that you talking about, you're gonna do independent business with countries. Ain't nobody gonna do business with you, because you done showed your hand when you stole the money from Libya, and then you stole the money from Iran and just took their money out your banks and kept it. So nobody gonna do that business with England. So they done. Now look at Germany. It was the largest economy. Now look at it. Go Google Germany now. You'll be super shocked. They damn near in recession. I'm saying it's flipping, and Africa is booming, while the Europe and America and the West is slowly dying out. And I'm saying that the Negroes in America, they're gonna die along with it. They're gonna run around on the deck of the Titanic until that sucker sink. Then they're gonna be like, "Ooh, this water's cold." But there's gonna be a few of you that's gonna know how to get into the lifeboat and come to Africa and see what's really happening, because you've been lied to. They lied to us about this place. And you got niggas in there like Phil Show, not Dynas so much, but some of his guests totally. And O'Shea Jackson, he's my buddy, but we always going back and forth, and he's always trying to tell me, how can you stay in that place? And I give him like 20 examples why, and he start laughing. You see. So the other day he was going to tell me, look what I'm doing in America. I got the 600,000 views, and he showed a picture of a graph. It was 600,000 views. So I replied right back, showed him a picture of me standing with 60 black belt martial artist instructors that got their own schools of business. And I'm like, you dealing in fake views with me? I'm dealing with real people. You see? And it's just, I don't know the technology about this way. Otherwise, I'll be showing you photos of the businesses that I'm doing. Next time, if somebody shows interest, I know these kind of videos are not that exciting for people. They want to see more entertainment, but Yeah, some of you have taken the time to go into my. You see, you don't see a lot of haters here because they go through my shit and then they see like that guy's for real. And for now, since the situation is getting dire in the United States, they're giving us a break. But you can remember back in the way, Lance Kelly, you can go to somebody's town and they got all these haters talking all that nonsense, but now they're not there. Why? Because the seriousness is coming. And I used to get a bunch of them, when I go on Dynasty show, you know. But today, now the people's quiet because the time is getting serious. And I have so many good messages that I want to send you people about being prepared for that. Otherwise, get prepared. Buy your Swiss Army knife. They can do all them jobs. Get your store up on matches. And you're in the United States, so you got gun. But shit, now's the time to go out and buy ammunition. But guess what they're saying? They're saying there's a run on ammunition in America, and manufacturers are trying to keep up with the demand. Because a gun ain't shit if you only got like one pack of the cartridges. You might need like 5-6 packages of cartridges. Otherwise, that gun is useless. Once the bullets is done, you done. You know what I'm saying? So you're trying to protect your house, and you got 4 months. When the shit hit the fan, there ain't gonna be no bullets going to be sold. Trust me on that. Or a bullet gonna cost you $100, one bullet. So you should get those while you can. If you plan on got things, you got property and you want to protect it, you better because when the law break down. You remember I was there when the Rodney King riots. Police couldn't go on the streets; they chased, so they just stayed in the barracks. And we went into the supermarkets and took all the food. Nobody came and stopped us. You see, but I was there, and I'm telling you, that was one of the best. That's when I really saw freedom, when the police was off the streets of Los Angeles and we was in control of everything. I went to the supermarket and the guy refused. They had 2 guys outside. They refused to let me in. He told me only women and children can come into the supermarket and take. And I was like, man, give me high five. Damn right, you right. I went back home, got my woman. She was a Kenyan at the time too. She was like, I don't know what to do. Just come with me. Just know what I'm talking about. Just go. Now, just take this car and go inside. He ain't gonna stop you. Oh, you sure? You sure? Yes. Don't be afraid. Okay. She went in there. They let her in. She come running out 20 minutes later with some groceries. Like, oh, look. Yes, free. Until it was finished. Then we was back on. How many people in Los Angeles remember Fedco? And it was talking on TV like Fedco was a government store in Los Angeles. And we was like, nobody gonna get into Fedco. And then there was the news that came, it got into Fedco. And they was talking about, hey, they're stealing phones. I'm like, damn, the mobile phone was just coming out. I was like, damn, I should be at Fedco. But anyway, I have lived a long life, and I have done a lot of things. I have seen it all, and I'm here to share with you my last days on this planet. And you young people that are out there, I know what you're going through. I have been through that, and I'm trying to say to you that there's only one option. A quick from BYO is saying they try to lie and claim that the reason so many bricks and mortar stores are closing is because more people are shopping online. Probably so, but it's the American economy too. Definitely, the economy is having issues. It's not just chain stores. You know what I'm saying? Manufacturing jobs are also disappearing. And if you guys remember, just what's happening lately is the Fed is now securing these short-term loans between banks when they don't have money for the overnight deposits. The federal government has stepped in and started giving them these loans because other banks don't have that money. And some banks are, instead of charging the 1% between 2 banks, the banks are now charging 10%. So rather than let people go into a panic, the government stepped in and said, "Here, I'll give it to you for 1%, no problem," because the Fed got all the money. But how long can that last? And the economists are saying that is the first sign that the economy is in for a major downfall. And I have all that information, and I don't want to bore you with it, but this is what's happening on the outside. Look at the countries on the outside. Most Americans not interested in what's going on in China. You're not interested in what's going on in Venezuela. You're not, Argentina is in a major recession. They had a big crash. That country is the pesos. That's where the pesos was created. Is in big trouble. They've been in a recession. And we won't even talk about Greece and Italy. You don't even hear from them. Spain, it gets quiet. Why? Because it's done. They done. They just waiting for the axe to fall and see what's next. Get what I'm saying? So Britain and America, you see Britain, because I know you hear about Britain talking about leaving the Brexit thing, leaving. The people want to leave because they don't know. They think that they don't know what's going to happen, but they think that that's going to solve their problems. They forgot why they were trying to get in the EU in the first place. But anyway, we'll see. Time will tell. The African who hates Africa are mostly Pan-Africans who want to change things from the outside. So they talk a lot of nonsense and they have money and don't even have a single project in their hometown. What these black leaders and these black talk show hosts are doing is that they're depending on you to pay them. You see, they have already long since said, I'm gonna stay in America. Now, how can I make money in America? I'm gonna get people, because what I tell you, you got to have people work for you in order for you to make big money. So they found a way to get on social media and they say, there's hope. They either say there's hope, or they try to ignore the situation like it's not there, or they try to make Africa look so much worse than where you are now. You do the old thing of, I'm better off where I am. You see, and that's just not the case. If 54 African countries agree to do trade with one another, drop their trade barriers, and this is happening while we speak, so that they can just have. So I'm in Kenya and I want to go do business in DRC Congo. I can just go do business in DRC Congo. I can call them up and say, what you need? You need some springs? I got a spring factory here in Kenya, no problem. I ain't got to worry about tariffs like before. They had to pay all this money. You're in Kenya and you can't get to DRC unless you go through Uganda. So when you go to Uganda with your truckload of springs, they're gonna say, oh, you got to pay money for that truck to go through my country. You see, so by the time the springs get to DRC Congo, that shit costs you like more money than they pay for. So it's like, no, man, I'm gonna just call Europe and get it direct. Because that's what they was doing. But now Africans have said, fuck that. We see the jokes, and they quietly voted that we're gonna drop all of that nonsense and we're gonna do business with each other. Gonna create the largest trading bloc in the world. And that's what's happening since July. So good things is coming to Africa, but you see, Dr. Moonbee, she ain't gonna talk about that. In fact, she's gonna get up there and tell you why the trade barrier won't work. My God, she's African. Joking. So I can't listen to her. People are sending me videos from her link. I'm like, she just make me want to cry. And that was last year. Talking about the Chinese is gonna take over Africa in the next 2 weeks. I just was like, that's ridiculous. So anyway, I'm coming to Kenya on October the 15th. Now somebody has given me an actual, African Phil. I've heard that you was coming on the 15th, bro. Welcome to my show. As small as it is compared to you. Welcome. And I'm going to hate you if you come to Kenya and don't come see me. You'll be here on October the 15th. I'll be in Nairobi on October the 12th, and then I'll be back in Mombasa on October the 13th. Please let us hook up. That would be great. Thank you for looking at the show. And if O'Shea mentioned anything to you, thank him too for letting you come. But this is my whole point. We have had all these people, and Phil is one of them because I watch his show also a lot. And I remember the brother when he was talking about child support back in the early days. Yes, if you didn't know that. But I saw him like, okay, the guy is pro-America. He wants to, his whole thing was, stay in America. He said that things in Africa are not as good. But when he comes to Africa and if he coming to Kenya, he said he's coming to Kenya, now he's going to see a whole different show. You see? And if he talks to me, I'm going to show him. Because if you talk to a Kenyan, or just like you talk to any African, he's going to gauge you. He's going to look at you and you're going to ask him, okay, how is your country? He's going to gauge you. He's going to say, oh, Because he want to come to your country. He gonna tell you, oh, it's bad here. I'm suffering. My family is suffering. All I need is an opportunity in your country, and I can do well. You see, so he's like that. I just had a boy here from my school 2 years ago. He just came. Sir, I came to visit you. How you doing? Yeah, I'm at. Sir, how have you been back to America? No, I haven't been. I want to go to America. I said, you've been watching too many movies. That's why you young boy, you in high school, you just see movies and you think America is like that. You know, we know how it is, the reality of America. But Kenyans and Africans will see a different story. And if you ask them direct, they may give you that line. But you have to stop back and look at the whole picture widely. How come everybody ain't running to the goddamn embassy? You see, why everybody going to work every day in Kenya? You see, so this thing is not true. That's a major trade. Yeah, that's a major trade in Africa. Yeah, I've done shows on that thing on what the trade. So I went today's show. Oh, I'm over. I'm going to cut off now. Today's show was about rethinking the idea of opening a small business in modern Africa. If you're going in the U.S., it's a lot of difficulties, and then institutionalized kickbacks are there. There are a lot of problems, and you have to really, what people don't really want to talk about is that if you're black and you open up a business, non-black people most non-black people won't patronize you. Not Mexicans. Nowadays, not Mexicans, they won't. If they find that you're doing great and Mexicans will start coming to your business and see that you're doing a lot of business, the Mexicans is going to open up the same business. And then he's going to take all your Mexican customers from you. The same with the white man. You see, you happen to have some white guy, you got a little dress shop and he going to open up a better one and he can undercut your prices. Or he can he can send the police into your shop and they can slide some cocaine on the counter and then police come in and arrest you saying you were selling drugs. It happens all the time. You think it don't happen? There's a lot of brothers sitting in jail because they have been blackmailed and tricked into that. And they're tricked into signing their business. I was in the police department, so I was seeing this where they made this guy sign over his business just to allow him to walk out of the police department by telling him you're gonna go to jail for 50 years and at least we're gonna put you through court and we're gonna delay the process for like 6 years so your business is done. But if you sign it over to such and such right now, we let you walk out the door. And the guy signed over his business. Brother, just like that. It wasn't a big business, but I mean, damn. That's how they do you in real life. Now, you think he's going to come on YouTube and tell you this happened? No. But I heard the story through policemen. So don't tell me what they won't do. There is an African Union passport. Yeah. It's not there. Only like 4 people got it. But there's also an East African community passport, which I'm trying to work on, which I'm trying to get. But it's the process, and it's still not solidified yet. But it's much further along than it was last year. Okay, that's awesome. What do you think about the film industry in East Africa? You talking now? You're talking. I'm 22, plotting. Don't even stay in America. Come down to Kenya at 22. You got the whole life ahead of you. Get you one little small camera and get out there. How many Kenyan bloggers they're out here now just traveling around Kenya and making videos on YouTube and making big money? Now that's kind of really pulling the industry down because people only got 2 eyeballs. They can only want one thing at a time. And nowadays a lot of people's attention is going towards YouTube and these kind of things where they can control the content that's coming to them, not like what's TV. I got a TV. We haven't watched TV in months. You know what I'm saying? Because it's boring. But I can get on YouTube and watch anything I want to watch. So in that respect, you got a lot of freedom being independent and then starting your own channel. But you see, you have a concept of what the U.S. is about, and you can come to Kenya, and because you have your youth, you still get an opportunity to meet a lot of young people that will give you ideas, and then you just got to have that motivated drive to say, yeah, let's do that. No, to make money takes courage. It takes courage to make money. I got a lot of opportunities I'll be doing. Oh no, I don't want that because that's going to take courage, to make money. Walk up to somebody, excuse me, have you seen this product? I would like to sell it to you. That take courage. You see what I'm saying? So there's a time when I'm doing business, and then more business come my way, and I don't know how to handle it because I'm like, God damn, this is just too much. You know, what I mean, I got this job, then the other one come and give me this money, and then I'm like, I'm got money in my shirt pockets and money in my pocket here. Like, damn, I got all these jobs. You know, what we do? I'm quiet. You know, I'm not like going out and trying to get more jobs. Who told you about me? Okay, I want you to give me 2 more customers, and I'll give you more work. You know, I'll do. You know, yours at half price. You just paid me for this job. If you get 2 customers to come and pay me, then I could do that. That'd be networking. I could probably do, but I was like, ooh, that's just too much for me. You see, because I'm older now. If I was younger, but I'd probably be jumping all over that like I was doing when I was in martial arts. But today, I'm slowing down. I see myself slowing down, and I'm not worried about that. So, success doesn't rely on being rich. Is not, and success don't have to go together. You can't connect the two. You can be rich and not be successful. Imagine you can be rich and you juggling all this money somewhere, but at any day it can all go away, and you know it. You can. Some people they're making money, but they say like I can see it. This thing is ending. You know, like a drug dealer. I'm making all this money, but at some point I'm gonna get arrested. So let me just try to, you know, they're rich, but they ain't successful by no means because they run around from the police. How can you be successful running around from the police? Hmm? You know, same thing. You can be rich, but you might not be happy. So many of those happen. You can be successful, but not happy. You see? So you can't equate the two together. When you see me up here and you're looking at me and you're like, is that guy got money? He looked like he kind of got money, but he look at that curtain in the back. You know, why did he don't get his tooth fixed? It only cost $200. Why he went around like, you know, if he had money, he probably would get his tooth fixed. No, okay, you can see my tooth missing, but I can't see it. So it ain't a priority for me. And too many Africans run around with their teeth. There's Africans that remove their teeth as they get older. So this is not a big deal for me. So that's awesome. What do you do? Yeah. Okay, for sure. I plan to make your martial art class when I visit. Okay, King, when you come, yeah. I got there. Okay. I'm Grandmaster now. I don't necessarily teach a class myself anymore. I was doing that before, and I had operated 29 clubs. That was a long time ago. Since 2011, I made a peaceful transfer of power to a new chairman, and we're business partners, and life continues. But as far as Kempo schools, there are many. Some of them in my KKF group, and some of them are in their own groups, organizations that have been popping up. Guys are growing and they're expanding, and I'm here to help them expand, giving my expertise to those that want it. Some of them, they feel like they got to show me that they can be successful without talking to the grandmaster. That's just ridiculous. If Mr. Muhammad was here and in those areas and somebody that was really successful in martial art business, I'd be all over their neck, tell them, don't go to bed yet. Tell me more. Tell me more. Kenya film industry is called Riverwood. Been there many days, many times. Watched the latest trailer called You Again. The quality is more than Nollywood. Yeah. In fact, I get, it's kind of scary when I see them because I see like these dance videos and I'll be like, I can't tell them from the Congolese. Kenyans is talented people, Africans in general, but you see that comes because they are being raised in an atmosphere that allows them that creativity. Their parents have money, they have the time, they have to hone and perfect their abilities. And this is what it was the same thing in Black America. At one time, we had you get such a place where there's like enough money where you can protect your people, your young people, like the Williams sisters in tennis. They used to train at the what do you call it? Shoot, I forgot what you call it, but the social hall. It's not called social hall in America, but little community center not far from my school. And there was a time we was go there and teach, and then they had blocked it. They said we can't teach it because those 2 girls was training. Their parents was able to put them, give them that nucleus where they could just train all the time in that atmosphere. They had money. And so the same thing with the Jackson 5. You see, the father was a worker, and then he wanted big things. So he took his money and he did it right. He made his kids not go outside and play, but work on their skills as far as musicians, and then it all paid off. But they had that atmosphere where they were allowed to do that. But somehow the boys were not able to get on drugs and things like that. But if it was like today, oh, Tito would be a gang member, Reggie would be selling drugs, Michael, who knows, he'd probably be a homosexual for sure, you see? And if it was today, Joe Jackson would have had his hands full. So, Kenyans have that talent because of the atmosphere where they're growing up from. Like you said, it's all about peace of mind. Yes, it's all about peace of mind, and you are the product of your environment. Change your environment. I know it's a scary prospect, but once you change your environment, everything is going to click. When I came here to Kenya, I was, still like a product of my environment. Even although I was in Kenya, I still had the same kind of, hesitations. I had that mindset. But luckily enough for me, I was able to stay long enough for me to say, hey, I didn't know I was feeling that way. I made mistakes. I might have talked to somebody badly, or I might have made the wrong decision here and there. And then I was like, I had a chance to redo it. And I'm like, okay, last time when that guy passed by, I didn't say hi to him because, I'm black and we don't talk to each other. But this time, I'm going to say hi to him. So I walked past, hey, brother, what's happening? Yeah, Jumbo, I want to talk to you. Da, 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 da. And it was like, wow, I got my kids and my sons want to take martial arts, and I heard that you were teaching, and wow, yeah, send them, you see? So I started changing and being more open, and that is what you find in Africa. You can let your hair down. People will talk to you. They're friendly. You ain't got to worry about being shot, or you'll come to realize that the people here are respectful, not where they're going to cut you and cut your throat. Did you know Rick Ross while living in LA? I probably knew a lot of his deputies, though, because I had a lot of friends that were selling drugs, drug dealers with the thing on their hip. And there was a time in my martial arts school, a lot of these old timers were. I had opened the school up, and all these old time black belts was coming in training. So there was this one day, I had all these guys in there, seniors to me by far, and then the police, started, but they was coming like they was coming to the school, but really it was coming to the house next to the school because they was getting some Mexicans. And so when these guys heard the police, two of them came to me. I mean, won't you hold this for me? And they handed me live guns with bullets. I'm like, God damn. I'm looking like, and this guy is a senior black belt. Like, what you mean do with this? Hide it. So I got a lot of life experiences, boy. You people in the chat, you just don't know. I didn't know Rick Ross, but I grew up in that culture, Crips, Bloods, and the drug culture. My best friend got on cocaine and he died. And another good friend of mine was a dealer. I saw him come up, with his drug money. He would always look at me sideways because he would think that I was going to ask him, give me some money, because most people was like, the guy got money. But I always looked at him back, like, nah, man, no, And sure enough, disappeared, went to prison, came back, started selling again. It was just terrible life. I didn't know Rick Ross. Most of the actors, yeah, but I knew crack cocaine was there. I was there watching the effects of it on my friends. Most of the actors used to act with Lupita, and some just went to U.S. to learn production. So definitely compete is okay. The people that are in the music and the movie industry in Kenya, their lifelong dream is going to America naturally because they watch too many of those American movies. That's where they gauge how they're going to be professional. It's only when they get there that they come to see that. It's not what you think. Lupita is there. She has an agent. The agent has to take her to do things she don't want to do. She got to do them for her career's sake. People don't realize that Lupita's father is a prominent politician in Kenya. He's rich. Not that rich, but I mean, they got a lot of money. They was able to support their daughter to go to America, and she was able to get into those roles. I don't know her personally, of course. She's a Lul by tribe. My wife is also a Lul, so sometimes when we're sleeping, I'm thinking like, repeat that. No, edit that out. So yeah, but anyway, I'm not gonna let this thing go for 2 hours. That's impossible. So I think this is the last one. Okay, AK, good to see you guys. Let me see if I made sure I got them all. Industry. You see, now's the time if you want to get me on chat line. For sure, I plan to take up your martial art class. Yeah, I did that one. Awesome. Do you think about the film? Yeah, okay, I think I got your corroboration. Yes, Young 10 again. I didn't if I missed that. Yes, you must come here and you must break down those barriers, psychological barriers that you have with talking to people and be there and meet people. That's the beginning of starting your own business. It is a lot of fun, especially when you're young and you got a lot of energy. You can do that. So if you like what we said in the video today, please like and subscribe to the video. And this is the only way we can support the channel. I want to, if you have sent earlier, I would. Oh, I won't get the message because I'm using a new modem. And let's keep this going. Yeah? So for the people that are new, you're watching the chat. Watching the show on your after the live chat is over. Please talk to me in the chat line. Now, you people are coming to Africa. I've met some of you that have already come. Some of you are telling me even today that you'll be here. Phil is saying he's going to be there on October the 15th. Phil from the Advice Show was in our chat for a minute. I'm sure he's gone now, but yeah, maybe we can interview him when he comes here. But people are saying that Kenya is worth looking into. African Superstar, if you guys probably know her, she's like, we started our channel at the same time, and she's saying, I'm for Ghana. And I'm like, I explained to her all the reasons why that's not really a good idea. You'd be far better off in Kenya. But I respect that she wants to go to Ghana. But I know that her personality is such that it can go a long way, a lot further in Kenya and be more acceptable in Kenya than it would be in Ghana. You've never been to Ghana, you don't know. It's obvious when you look at the people that come from Ghana and where they are. First of all, it's an enclosed society, so it's not spread out. You go there, they have a local language that nobody else speaks but them. So you can't expand. Now in Kenya, they speak Swahili, so they speak it in Tanzania, they speak it in DRC Congo, they speak it all over the place. Uganda, Rwanda. So you see, there's a lot more territory where you can be accepted. And I see her personality, and I just feel that if she goes to Ghana, Ghana is surrounded by French country, so it's just there by its small self. And if she wants to expand, her horizons and business opportunities, she's going to be out of luck, like so many other Black people that are there. You remember there's a guy that went to Ghana, he did a long video blog. Where is he today? That guy with the braid in the back of his head. He was always in Ghana talking about with the kids and the wife, and then somebody supported him, gave him money. Where is he today? He's back in the U.S. because he couldn't make it in Ghana because there ain't no businesses in Ghana unless you're going to sell fruit. And that guy wasn't about to do that. His wife wasn't about to do that. So she left him there and went back home to make money, and then he had to go back. You see, but they don't tell you that part of the story, Now, I know Meyer is there, but that's a local guy, He came to Kenya, and where's his future sweetheart? She's a Kenyan. Miss whatever her name is, TC, I forgot her name. But yeah, Kenya has a lot more business opportunities and a lot more opportunities all the way around. It's cheaper to live in Kenya than it is to live in Ghana. So you can just see right there that they're taking advantage of Black people that come there in that small country. So I want to get ready to say thanks for everybody for listening. I know you guys are asleep now, and I'm going to go sleep now myself. So please, again, one last time, do the necessary. Let's support this channel. I want to be able to come on and say, hey, somebody thought enough about what we were talking about to send $10, even though they saw the show 2 days later or 3 days later. Okay, so we're doing some equipment. You see, the sound quality is good today. Not problems. I want to be able to continue that. And I'm telling you, from the reality of the situation, nobody's gonna do what I'm doing if they're not gonna get paid. Dynasty, those guys get paid. These people, you guys support them, and that's wonderful. But you can't support me that way, and I'm coming from directly here in the motherland. Who else going to tell you to come and get the young people? There's so many young people here that will be able to do this. Who else is going to be able to take you? Don't go to that shop, brother. You're here in Kenya. Welcome. Let me take you to the nice place where to go, where you can meet the real Kenyans. You want to start a business? I know just the guy you need to talk to. Come, let me introduce you. I'm the only one that can do that because I'm here on the ground with those type of many type of contacts. So don't look at me and say, this guy's a shag. We're beyond all that. I wouldn't be on this line if that was the case. I'd be ruined a long time ago. But I've been here for how long? 20 years. I wrote a book on this same exact subject in 2005. Go to Amazon, Black Man's Guide to Visiting, Moving, and Doing Business in Modern Africa. That's 2005. I wrote that book. I just rented me a little small hut place, not hut, but an apartment, and I just got me a computer, built myself a computer table, and just started typing for about almost 6 months, a year, and created this book and then published it. Wow. So see, right now I'm slowing down now. So you guys are getting me at the slow down. But if you want me to continue, okay, you want to do it. You say you're gonna do it, but please, everybody else is watching us and saying that okay, this is good. I'm gonna listen to, but I'm not gonna send any coins in. This is a channel that can show the other channels in the U.S. and those niggas in the U.S. that somebody that's here, can make it. When you send me money, I'm sure Diners and O'Shea is looking at that and they're saying, "Oh, so it can work." You see, but it is what it is, and let us work it out. I'll be in Nairobi on this weekend, and surely I did a video when I was there last time. I think I get so busy when I go to Nairobi, I just can't figure out where I can put the camera. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I've been doing that for so many years, so I'm like, I just forget. Like I'm just rolling and doing my businesses. Like I'll be at Kenyatta University, and I would hope that I'll be able to videotape that so you guys can actually see me teaching martial arts or discussing it with the smartest Kenyans in the country. So that's going to be this weekend. Greetings, brother. Helios, now you're coming when I'm just about to close out, man. Helios, thank you for your super chat African super chat that you sent me. I was just telling these guys that, some of our older listeners, that it's so easy. And Helios is one of from London. Imagine, not even from America. Now, how am my LA brothers going to let me be like that and not support me? I get a brother from London, but not a brother from U.S. It's okay. We all brothers, but at the same time, come on, man. Richard, Kevin, these guys. Kevin has been an investor in CC Gate, one of my businesses. He was a viewer like you guys, but he came in and said, "I want to do business with you," and then now he's part of it. And we're doing the marketing now. We're going to be growing soon. Let's hope it all works out. But Helios, go back over the chat line, and go back over the videos, watch it from the beginning. This is a really good video for those people that are interested in coming. Now, when you come and you want to see about the business market, I'm not going to send you to the tourist sections. We're not going to go. Okay, we can go to the beach and hang out a bit, but if you come here with me and you're serious about how can I stay, how can I make an income, a small business now, and when I go back home, I can interact with it. There's so many ways. With M-Pesa, anything is possible. Get the right people behind you, and you'll be surprised. You'll be able to make that jump in no time because the economy is booming. And there's a lot of business opportunities here, but the local population don't have the understanding of how to do it, and they don't make the connection with the money part. You see, so like Kenyans are very conservative people. Africans in general are very conservative with their money. So when you tell them, okay, you got to put in $2,000 or $1,000 for this type of equipment to make your business work, they're like, okay, I'll get back to you. But you can come in and do it, get you some young Kenyans that's there to help advise you and support you, and it'll pick up and boom. Just like in the United States, Kenyans are no different. Africans are no different. If the foreigner is doing the tend to trust it more than they would trust a local business. So we got that going for us when you get ready to come here. So that's it now. I'm not going to let this video go to be 2 hours. Thank you for watching. Until we meet again, let's try to do this again on Friday. Put some comments in there. I see I got some 10 likes. Oh, make sure you like the video. Thank you for that person who did that. Just now I saw it. And subscribe. Hit the notification bell. People see this all the time, and I'm saying it's so funny for me to say this. But this is not my expertise, is like trying to get a lot of views. Mine is to try to make this video be relevant 5 months from now, a year from now. You understand? People will still be taking a chance to look at it. And I appreciate you all for sticking by and making comments. And until we meet again, peace. I'm growing a beard, by the way. So, now who is this? Oh, how difficult is it for, you hear me talking, how difficult is it for foreigners just coming to Kenya to set with business? Okay, Julius, you got to go back and look at the video from the beginning, because this is what I'm talking about here. You're a smart man, bro. Oh, you realize that. I know I'm unique. Okay, I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that from experience. And so, all I can do is give out my expertise. We'll see how smart I am when I've given out information about my business, and then I find people hacking me in the background or trying to do me in. We'll see if that's going to be the case. But, I'm just going to trust everybody out there. That's just a backdrop of me from my old being in South Central days. Got to watch my back at all times. A lot of brothers will not come on here and tell you about their personal business and their ideas. But see, I'm 61 years old, so I'm saying, like, I can understand if I was 37, I wouldn't be on here talking like this. But I mean, what can they do to me now? I'm 61. I haven't lived my life now. You see, so I still got my faculties. I can type 60 words a minute. I'm an expert in ICT. So, I'm unique in that fashion. You really won't get somebody my age with this kind of quality to do this. I'm a martial artist, and I did training all my life, so I'm in really good health. So my brain faculties are still sharp, and that's what you're getting when you come to this channel. Now, I see as my mind is a little bit slower now, so I depend on you guys to spark my mind by talking to me in the chat line. Like this guy that asked me about, did I know Rick Ross? That brought up a lot of memories from back in the day. I can express them, but I would have never talked about that if he didn't put that in the chat line, if you didn't ask that. So this is the kind of place where you should ask that. So how difficult is it for foreigners to come in? It's not difficult at all. Kenya went from number 121 in the ease of doing business all the way to number 61 in 1 year. That is amazing. Let me say, that's a fucking amazing. They're really trying in this country to make it easy to do business. You can get your visa at the airport. You ain't got to file for no visa. You just fly here, and when you get to the airport, they're going to give you a visa. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Nigeria where you got to go jump through hoops, and they still may not give it to you. You got to come 3 times before they give you, even talk about giving you a 5-year visa or extended visa. So that's what I'm saying. Kenya is a great destination. I have been to 6 other African countries, not as in depth, but I was in South Africa. And no, you can't even compare to Kenya, especially with the women. If you say South African women, they ain't comparing to, they ain't all of that. But in Kenya, oh my God, it just. So if you 30s and 40s, just come to Kenya. Try not to get caught up. Come see me, and I'll guide you a bit. But too many brothers, I have seen too many brothers come here, and the next thing you know, the next day I see them, they got a woman on their arm. And she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her. We both know what's up, and she's looking at me like, this is my property now, but don't say nothing, And I have to give them the benefit of the doubt because, it might be true love. I have seen it. The people I thought that were never going to make it, they still in love today. So, but anyway, you come, you see, and you, I'm here. All right. So this is Amon Ra saying good night and peace.